Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Dutchman Plays Void War. This is a demo version of a game that looked very interesting on Steam. And depending on how old you are, it'll look very familiar to you. This is 100% a FTL, clone, reskin, copycat, whatever you want to call it. But it's set in like the Warhammer 40k universe, I think. This is my captain, Exile Drakton. There are very, very significant differences that make this unique to FTL. Faster Than Light was a spaceship roguelike. You had your ship, you had power, you had systems you had to allocate power between in order to do various things. You had weapon slots, you had upgrades. Every turn, where is my button? Okay, here we go. Every turn, we're going to click on one of these nodes that'll send us to a battle or an event. We're going to make it to the end of the sector, hopefully, by surviving these battles and events. And if we do, we collect scrap, which we use to upgrade our ship to make our chances of survival higher. We have crew members. This is pretty unique. Our crew members have stats. You can see this Imperial Enforcer. FTL, you would level up. In this game, we have armor slots, weapon slots. Some of our guys are psychic. They have spell slots. This guy has a DPS of 8, a health of 80, fire resistance of 90%, extra HP, does more damage in medium rooms, which is really cool. So, it's not just an FTL ripoff, it is its own unique game, and it is very cool, so that's why I wanted to show it off. This is just a demo. I'm already halfway through this run. I played a bunch of it, and I was like, yeah, this is good stuff, this slaps. I think I'm gonna... We just started this new sector, right? Let's see where the shops are at. Shrine of Rage, no idea what that does. Crew contracts and consumables. Crew contracts and equipment. Systems and ship armament. I could maybe use some more crew. I've got nobody manning sensors yet. And also, because my guys are so good at fighting, I often send these guys off to absolutely rip the enemies to shreds. I'm gonna try to come to the mercenary broker, see if I can get some more armor and weapons. So I gotta go down, down, up, up. And again, I'm gonna assume that people haven't seen FTL yet. It's a 20-year-old game now, so. As you approach an orbital outpost, you notice that defensive batteries are tracking your ship very closely. Station Master opens comms. Do not approach any closer. We do not accept visitors anymore. Unless one already did enough damage. Press onwards. Alright, so that's just a nothing. Ion Storm is super annoying. If it's the same as FTL, it cuts our power in half, which is going to break our shields, lower our weapon damage output. I'm going to go to the Shrine of Rage. An ominous spiked structure drifts silently in your viewport. It is a shrine to an ancient war god. As you approach, your sensors detect an oncoming hostile signature. So this is an enemy ship. We can see all of their systems. They have life support, door control, hust rack rebuilds workers. Sensors, launching bay. They may attempt to board us. They have an auto-firing artillery, which is annoying. They have weapons. We can see their weapons on the bottom here. 3 shots out of this guy. I only have 3 shields. That plus the artillery means they will get through to me. They also have a graviton graviton cannon, excuse me. Does 1 hull damage. Disruptor does ion damage. So if I were to try to take this guy down, I think I'd probably want to board their weapon system. One of the nice things about this game is that if you kill an enemy in a system room, it deals 1 damage to that system instantly. So, boarding is a really good way to take out systems safely and quickly. hit the pause right away. Just like FTL, we can pause while we're planning. I'm gonna take Ayas and grab it. Put them in my boarding ship. Deployed. I don't know what that means, but I'm worried that they're gonna try to board me before I board them. I do think it's more important that I get onto the weapon system. Dang, this is kind of annoying. I'm not gonna be able to get there. I don't know what would happen if I try to shove two guys into one room. I'm definitely not about to test it though. Two shields. This guy takes 27 to charge. This is 16 to charge, 9 to charge, 9 to charge. They're gonna get a volley off on me. We have 30% dodge, which is pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. I can also just send my captain in. So, the captain is very important. When they're in the control center, they man the piloting seat, which gives you extra dodge chances. This guy specifically has a teleport item. You can use it to teleport onto the enemy ship. He also has 90 health. He's actually pretty weak now because he doesn't have a damaging equipment. But if we could, he would. Goodness. Goodness. Because they have the husk thingy, I'm thinking they might have really weak crew members. I'm gonna launch. Let's get in there. Let's F them up. I'm gonna try and land on their shields. Maybe try to pull some aggro. I'll set this to auto fire on the weapons while we're taking out the shields, and then I have my laser beam charging behind it. Let's see, charge time 25, this is 27. Alright. We have a husk with 15 health, and then both of our guys, 60, 80, DPS of 8, DPS of 6 versus 3. This guy's going to absolutely melt. And indeed, there he goes. Alright, so the shields are coming down. Swap the beam for the cannons. These are pretty quick to charge. I think with the beams, with the shields coming down, I'll turn those on. And maybe I can get these weapons down after a volley. They are coming to board me. Alright, I want you auto fire here. As soon as you get weapons, take them out. They boarded with Husk and Husk. This guy's only a scribe. So I'm gonna have this guy come in here. And this guy's gonna like watch the doors or something. My guys are still doing fine over here. Captain took out those Husks very easily. Husks are like throwaway workers. They are very, very weak. Alright, cool, we did it. 39 scrap, 3 munitions. Rabbit took 20 damage. Bracton is our captain. I'm not too worried about his health. None threats detected. You return to the shrine. Pledge yourself to the god of war. Sure. Almost later, you find yourself surrounded by dozens of cult warships. You begin spooling your engines, preparing to engage, but you soon realize they are attacking each other, not you. You consider joining the battle. Oh, you just joined the god of war? Why not? Supernatural rage overwhelms your senses. You activate your combat systems and target the nearest ship. Skeleton, 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 and a berserker. Weak weapon. Yeah, I'm not too worried about those weapons, so I think I'm gonna... Sorry. Put that back to like this. Go ahead and target... a captain, I guess. My crew is back. We're gonna load them up right away. Load the crew and dive onto their weapons. These skeletons are melting. The Berserker's a little scary, but we have way more DPS than them. 62 scrap is fantastic. The enemy defeated another ship confronts you. It is enormous. As commander proclaims, I am Crumb's champion. Okay, so that's a little... that's a bit much. That's not what I was expecting. I do see just a bunch of baby skeletons, though. I could absolutely dive into that weapon room. So I think Drakdun has a grenade launcher, which does extra damage in large rooms, these 2x2s. He also makes enemies explode when he kills them, or when they die in combat with him, I think, even. It's like super better than that. So we absolutely could melt this skeleton room. I'll launch these guys. Maybe Gravith will have to sit back. I do have a stun. Psychic Shriek can stun the enemies. Drakdun can teleport in. I'm not afraid of these skeletons. These skeletons are bitches. Door break speed, cannot man, immune to suffocation, poison, fire, reduces enemy DPS by 1. That's a little scary, actually. But we have +2 DPS to all Imperial citizens, so these 3 are actually super good. Alright, let's do it. Let's have fun. Gravith, please survive this. You are all I've ever wanted in this world. 8 seconds until we can deploy. Did I lose a guy? No, I sent you to the door room because I was afraid of you getting attacked. Use a lot on the artillery, I guess. I want that to stop. What did you do? What did you just do? Also stun. Alright, 1 second until we can load. Alright, here we go. Load the crew. Teleport onto weapons. Oh no. They don't have a door system, so I can jump onto the artillery, kill this guy, walk into weapons, and then have the commander teleport. Alright, so that takes out the artillery. I'm gonna walk over here and immediately... Why can't I? Oh, he's stunned. They're coming in here. This will not stun my teammates. Enemy crew in target room for 5 seconds. So hopefully Gravith will live. Commander's alive, so he's gonna teleport. Alright, now we're in there. We are popping and locking on these skeletons. My husk is going to get melted by these, so let's actually meet up here. Have some teamwork. We successfully disabled their ship. We can recall the crew. Let me return to stations. I'm gonna have my commander come out and fight this guy. Get him, Commander. I mean, we did it, right? What do you want out? What more do you want? Oh, there's a guy over there. A boosted subhusk. Their ship still has a lot of health, so I'm just gonna go mess this guy up. And retarget this to here. Perfect. Turn off auto fire. Enemy crew has been killed. You search the remains and find a few useful items. The Chromac champion has been defeated. There's a brief period of silence and stillness. Then a flash of argent lightning pierces the stellar backdrop and sends a shockwave rippling across the battle zone. Every cultist vessel winks out of existence. Your ship is alone once more. Your hands tremble uncontrollably. A white-hot sigil has been burned into the inside of your left wrist. You feel an insatiable lust for battle. Commander cannot rest for 3 jumps. Resting, I believe, is how you regain health. Surrender rage activated. War cultist units appear more frequently in rewards of merchants. Only 1 try may be activated at a time. will rest 15% HP upon warp, but he cannot rest for 3 jumps, so he actually kind of has to relax a bit, which is funny. The whole point of getting this was to be a big old berserker god, and now we have to take it easy and sleep. We have a lot of scrap, but I do want to save for the shop still. Transport vessel detected, sounds fine. Find yourself under attack by a chromic warship. Though ostensibly on a courier mission, many war cultists find the monotony of logistical duty insufferable and seek out any opportunity to do battle. Berserker, Berserker, Berserker. These guys have a lot of health and actually very high DPS, so we are not going to join their ship. We are just going to shoot them down. They have 2 shots and an ion shot, so they probably... Oh, ion tunneler. Ignore shield. Projectile count 3? Oh, that seems nasty. Let me turn off the... Okay, gotta start the battle first. Let's turn on our missiles. I'm gonna auto-fire. This stuns enemies in a room. I really want those weapons down. I'm gonna have this target there. And then I'll pop the beam when the fuselage fires. The artillery is plink-plonking away. There come the 2 shots. We did dodge one. Means our shields hold. There goes the missile. Okay, that took out the ion tunneler. I'm going to turn off the auto fire. Targeting. There goes the fuselage. And now, 4 rooms is usually the best you can get with a beam, so we'll just do through these guys. We lit them on fire. Very, very clinical. Module, Wrath of Angels. Your lances always hit. I don't have any lances. Munitions and scrap metal. It is what it is. Mercenary Broker. I want weapons and armor. Mercenary Broker here. It's always important to have a solid crew at your back. We have a set of mercenary contracts on offer. Would you like to see them? Trade. I can pick up people. Conqueror. This is a Throck. Reduces enemy DPS by 1. Repair speed 50. That's a War Cultist. Imperial Enforcers. Another one of my guys. We have a lot of buffs to them already, so that'd be pretty good. A Death Cultist. 60 and 3. Yeah, he's a tool slot. Is interesting. Welding Torch. I could get that for my husk. That's pretty cheap. Or any of my priests. Yeah, I think I can do that. Ceremonial Sword. Plus 2 DPS, plus 5 DPS against enemies with over 100 max HP. That's pretty freaking sick. This guy has a weapon. This guy has a weapon. Plus DPS in medium rooms. Door break speed and sabotage speed. So this guy only just does weapon damage to rooms. I think I'd rather have him be really sick nasty at killing dudes. Reduces enemy DPS by 1, plus 25% max move speed, minus 5 max HP. Interesting. Ore Blaster, plus 2 DPS, plus 1 DPS in medium rooms, kills explode, dealing 10 damage to enemies. This would be even better, because this guy also has plus damage in medium rooms. So, Gravith and Caius, together in a medium room, each of them getting plus 2 DPS. This guy's now exploding dudes. This guy is just wrecking them. Tool. These guys do not have tool slots, they have armor slots. Enemy DPS cannot exceed 2. That's pretty cool. So if I could bring like a support character, I could equip them with this. They become tankier. They become slower, but enemies just cannot do more than 2 to us. That's really, really cool. Alright, let me get the Gore Blaster. Heat Beam. This is absolutely redundant now. Let me go straight to... Where's a loadout? Here we go. Gravith. Assault Sledge. It was fun, but I don't think I ever got use out of it. He's now up to 8 DPS when he's in medium rooms, and his kills explode, so these two together are the dynamic duo. Drakton, do you have a loadout? You have the grenade launcher, which is super silly. Now that I look at it, it's actually kind of mid. I mean, it only works in large rooms, but I guess that's all I want you for, right? Is to just show up in a large room. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. This is a tool. If you're warping in... Oh, but I can give you the ceremonial sword. When we see a guy that absolutely needs to die, you can warp in with a sword and a shield. Extra health. Ooh, this is... I think I'm just gonna do this on Drakton. Drakton, the grenade launcher is cool and all, but I want you to have this. I want you to have this. Yeah. This is where this game is really cool. This game has a lot more like RPG mechanics to it than FTL did, and kitting out your team members is actually really, really unique. I want to find more of these mercenary guys. I want more equipment and tools and stuff. The Husk, I think, is just going to die as soon as it gets into combat, so let me give my priest the welding torch. I think that makes sense. I want to get armor for these guys. I want everyone to have, like, really good armor. How much longer until the next shot? Shipyard is safe to rest. I don't think that will help my captain. Alright, there are no more mercenary contracts. That's a module, right? Are there any module shops on the way? Armament, templates, and systems. Probably not. Well, that's it. Let's upgrade then. What do I want? Do I want to max my shields? Yes. Okay. Shields are maxed. After that, Missile Bay, +1. Oh, Launch Bay can eventually get up to a capacity of 4. Ooh. Command Throne, autopilot of 80 is very good. Especially when I have a guy joining the boarding parties. And then I think I just go in on engines and power. More dodge chance means less enemy damage. We're pretty good on hull points, but you never know when you're going to find a fight that you just can't beat. Actually, do you have... Can I afford any of these? Immune to poison. I don't know how many people I can have on my ship. I think it'd be interesting to have a guy to stay behind. Oh, we'll deal with that later. If I find someone, I find someone. I think I can kind of like speedrun the rest of the sector then, and we're pretty kitted out. Hailed by a decrepit vessel. They offer you payment to help them deliver a shipment of life-saving medicine to distant Hav colony. Sure. One dark matter prism. Teleport self and nearby allied crew to target room. Okay, that's cool. Here's half the payment now, the rest of the payment after safe delivery. The tool. Hold on 5 seconds, charge time instant. So it's just like lasts forever? Okay. That's pretty sick. Where are the coordinates? Okay, that's super easy to get to. I actually don't know if we can miss it. Full side of 6 in the middle. Chromic monitor. A warship belonging to the Cult of War. It is damaged from previous engagement, but that does not seem to have diminished its willingness to fight. They've got a lot of weapons. They're actually at half health. I don't know if I want to jump on their ship. Shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots total. That's a gladiator's missile actually, so only 4 shots. We should be able to sort of just tank this. The missile ignores shield. Doesn't hold damage though, so very, very slowly we will take damage here. They have no artillery. Let's put this on the missile bay. We'll see what happens. Send door guy into the sensors to see if we can get a read on what they have. And then I'll decide if I want to jump in. Alright, their sensors are too strong. We're not going to be able to find out who's on their ship. We did take a damage there. I'm not going to board if I can't tell what they have. They only have 5 HP, I'm just going to kill them. The beam is charged. Here comes the fuselage. Let me... I think that's the most I can do damage-wise. But I could come from the missiles and probably get 4 rooms. And that would make sure that they don't deal any more damage to me. Yeah, let's do it that way. There we go, dead. We took 1 hit. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, I want to upgrade my sensors because that's actually, like, really annoying that I can't see what's on their ships. Jump. I wish I had 1 more crew member to put in sensors. I really like the extra dodge chance from having this manned. But I want these guys close enough to the ship launcher so that they can just move in there if they want to. This guy's absolutely doing nothing though while he's just... while it's not powered, you know. Oh well, we'll do that later. Ion Storm, we're gonna avoid that. Chromic Destroyer, I see a bunch of skeletons. And a Berserker? Yeah, okay. We would jump in on weapons probably, just to take them out real quick. Load crew, launch crew. It never lets me go to weapons. They're immune to suffocation, so there's no point in jumping onto their life support. We'll just dive onto the shields. Let me see, projectile 3. That doesn't do any damage. 2 shots. And then 1 shot. I don't think they can make it through my shield. Not that it matters because IS and Gravis are going to absolutely tear these skeletons to pieces. A single skeleton joined my ship. Explosive gas. I like that. Is this gonna be like the firestorm? It is. Vent it and warp. Get out of here. I'm gonna take to the safe place to rest. We don't really need it. This is a good way to get health for your crew. I can also heal hull points. Construct a machine slave. Let me do that. I was literally asking for a team member to man my sensors. So having this manned is going to give us essentially a +1. There should be no ship in the system that we cannot see into. As long as my sensors are higher than their sensors, that's what gives us visibility on their crew movements, their system powers, all that good stuff. After pumping it with my upgrades, and then manning it with my guy, I don't think there's any way we can ever not see exactly what we're up against. You arrive at the tail end of an Imperial invasion fleet. Several supply stations are visible nearby. Imperial citizens, secure the supplies. Sure. An assault sledge and munitions. We have one. And munitions, we have so many because I barely use my missiles. I'd rather board them and kill them. You materialize back into real space. Your muscle tense upon seeing an ominous silhouette in the distance. However, upon a closer inspection, you realize it's just a large rock. You move on. Alright, here's our quest. You arrive at the delivery's destination, Imperial Orbital Hab Colony. Suddenly, you are intercepted by a local system defense patrol vessel. They ask if you have any cargo to declare before they inspect your ship. Declare the medication. You have become aware of cases where death cultists have been approaching passing starships to spread their blight under the guise of delivering medication. Submit your cargo for inspection. Yeah, you don't care. Contents of the vials indeed turn out to be death cult mutagenic agents. You have done right to yield us this deadly cargo. Such destruction represents the saving of nearly 800 million souls. Nevertheless, we can't allow you to dock at the colony as we cannot trust you any further. Sure. I mean, sounds like we did the right thing. Ooh, these guys are nasty. So this is a possessed cruiser. This is actually a unmanned demon ship. There are some like living thingies on it, but they're terrifying demons and like awful, horrible things. There's no oxygen on that ship, so if I were to send in my guys, even though they could win this fight and grab this treasure chest here, it's just so not worth it. Like, they will die, get damaged very, very quickly. We're going to set auto fire onto shields, weapons, and artillery, roughly this area. Probably shields, honestly, because they have a very high shield count, actually. They're up to 30. Let's take a look at their weapons. Magnetic Pulse only stuns crew. I really don't care about this. Energy Beam does not affect shields, does do hull damage. Thunder Cannon does one shot. I don't think they can get through me because I don't know if this affects shields. It sounds like it does, though. So 3 shots in the shields. This does not affect shields. 4 shots in the shields, and then an Energy Beam. If they link everything up together, then they might do some damage to us. Oh, they also have the auto fire and artillery, so they can get through. They can get through. Auto fire the missile on shields until we get through them. No, you charge much faster. You take out weapon. They only have 1 power in artillery. Take out the artillery. Yeah, those ion blasts are bad. Alright, so we took out the artillery. Next, take out their weapons. Look, this guy spawned on this ship and is just suffocating to death. What a silly boy. Oh, that was my fuselage. I need to have this ready to go. I definitely care more about the shields getting weakened, so I'll do something like a diagonal through here. We'll hit 4 rooms. There it goes. Lots of fires on their ship, but that means nothing because they had no oxygen. The fires would have just extinguished themselves. but I believe the Inferno Beam does 2 damage per room. Yeah, hull damage per room hit is 2. Shield piercing of 1. Damage reduced per shield pierced 1. This thing is insane. It takes 3 power, but 2 damage per room. We were targeting 4 rooms. That's 8 damage. 59 scrap metal, munitions. That's going to let me upgrade my dodge. Like that. We're up to 35 dodge percent, which is very, very good. FTL 30 was kind of like the bare minimum for safety. And then if you could get it all the way up to 50 or 60, then you were like actually OP. But it's such a big investment to get that high. Another possessed ship. This looks like a very tiny ship. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know if it can do anything to us, but 6 shots is absolutely going to make it through our shields, assuming we don't dodge any. This also does 2 projectiles, so let's just mess up their weapons. They also have 3 shields. I'm gonna put weapons, and then I'll drag my laser beam through the shields to take them down. Aside from upgrading my engines, I could also upgrade my weapons more. I do have 2 weapons just kind of sitting here as like spare loadout. Please hit. Nice. Okay, so that took out the pulse. We're not going to get ionized. And I bet we can dodge 2 out of 6 with a 35% chance. Yeah, baby. Oh! My fuselage hit. Beam. Because I dragged it the wrong direction, I only hit the shield a little bit. I could have done this the other direction and really taken him down. But we took out the AI, we took out the engines. They cannot dodge anymore whatsoever, so our next missile should kill them. Yeah. I don't think there's any way they could have avoided that. 2x Medrone. Consumable tool. Fire suit. Immunity to fire. I don't really care. I guess I'll take the heals and I can like put these on the husks, right? Oh, alright. That's how that works, huh? Yeah, I'm looking for 2 more armors. I don't know why I was missing oxygen there. As you approach the Stargate, a fracture splits the horizon of reality, unraveling the threads of your existence. Beyond the terror, a cold and yielding darkness churns, alive with whispers that no mortal should hear. Your path spirals deeper into the abyss. This is not the end, this is only the beginning of their gates. That might be the end of the demo. Victory! The crew of the Triumph of Heaven continues into the dark shroud of eternity. Very, very cool game. Very, very interesting. I love the RPG elements. I love equipping my guys. It feels a little too easy at this point, but maybe it's just because my Imperial guys were so good at boarding that even without weapons or armor or modules that were buffing them up, they were able to walk onto enemy ships and just tear them to shreds. I always had my Commander A to teleport in as well, and then we just got lucky in RNG and absolutely cranked up the DPS. The Warglaive was a super easy RNG, or super early RNG. Brought the guy to like 6 damage, even in the early game. We bought the module with some scrap to add 2 to all of my Imperial citizens, which was all my boarding party. So really, really cool synergies. Weapons as well. Because I play so much FTL, I was able to tell that the Inferno Beam was a huge, huge get. Anything that we couldn't kill, the scatter shot as well, comboed with the Inferno Beam was just like an insta-buy when I saw it. Break the shields, then split their ship in part. Even if they recover a shield, you're still doing 1 damage to a system. Super, super good. Or resonance. What is resonance? Used for unlocking ships and commanders. Well, 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 don't mind if I do. Witch, Commander Psyker, Mind Bolt. Cast a projectile that deals 15 HP damage to hostile crew. So if I had a lot of these, I could just like keep on shooting them from my own ship. Assassin for 8k. Poison DPS plus 7. Ignores doors, moves fast. That's so cool. Unavailable in demo, unavailable in demo. Yeah, I think I'll probably wishlist this game. This is very, very cool. This is Imperial Cruiser A. Unavailable, unavailable, unavailable. Show me the ship list. Unknown vessels. Imperial Cruiser B costs 5k. It starts with one thing, I don't know why. An Imperial Acolyte. Or shield. They can protect the ship. Rejuvenate, casts a healing projectile. Much more passive than the first one. Retributor 3 to start with. Number of shots 3. Medium chance of fire. Required power 2. Are you freaking kidding me? Energy Lance. Starts fight pre-charge. Charges per jump 4. Ignores shield. Puts minor crew damage. Projectile speed 2400. Charge time, number of shots. So is this this is like a reusable missile, essentially. Lances utilize intense gravitic solitons to propel heavy particles. Excuse me. This is like when someone has read the dictionary before and they're trying to talk like a normal human. Lances utilize intense gravitic solitons to propel heavy particles at relativistic velocities at the cost of burning out their charge coils. Lighter versions are able to fit more reserve coils. So this is four shots per fight. 4 missiles per fight for free. For 1 power. I didn't use missiles until the last 2 ships we fought, so energy lances are insane. Retributor 3 is insane. And I like the idea that you can just buy things with currency. I did like the puzzle system from FTL, where you had to... Oh my god. What? Torment 12? No wonder it was so easy. We were playing on baby mode. Holy. Torment 6? What the heck? What the heck is this game? I want to see people beat Torment 12 with like no lances or something. I don't know. Randomize hull. Oh, if you had a bunch of them, you could randomize. Yeah, really cool game. Really cool. You guys only saw the end of it. It's pretty much rinse and repeat in the early stages, but RNG, depending on what you get. Where is the wish? Yeah, I'll do that. Oopsies. I didn't want that to open my thingy. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed Void War. If you did, please click the like and subscribe button. It really helps small channels like this one grow and reach a wider audience. If you thought that game was awesome as well, go ahead and wishlist it on Steam. You can find their store page, click the buttons there. And I hope you have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening. Goodbye.